Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose. And if you ever...
Hey everyone, welcome back to your girl's channel. I know it has been a while since I've actually done a sit-down video, since it is vlog-a-day season. That's all I've been posting, and I know I should have been posted this video like 2 months ago, but you know, life. But here I am finally doing my labor and delivery video, and I'm sorry for those who have asked for this video and that I'm now posting it, but like I said, life. But I am doing it now, so that's cool, right? So yeah guys, I'm not gonna talk too much in the beginning because I just kind of want to jump right in since it's gonna be kind of a long video. Hopefully I remember every detail of that day. I know for a fact that a lot of stuff that happened I didn't expect, or I didn't know was gonna happen that way, or I just, you know, my first kid, first time doing all this, so let's just jump right in. So it was October 17th. I went to go spend the night at one of my friends' houses, and you know, we were just chilling, doing blah blah blah, whatever, and we decided, well, she decided to go to sleep early since she had to work the very next day, and I decided to stay up because I ordered McDonald's from Uber, and I was like, I'm just gonna wait for my food. So I remember I was like laying, she was asleep already, so I was laying next to her obviously, and I was like tracking my Uber order. I was like, when is someone gonna pick up my food? So this was around like 1 o'clock. By then, time kind of was just going. My order wasn't getting picked up. Tragic. Around 2 o'clock, my order still wasn't getting picked up. I was getting irritated, and then I started having mild contractions, or to me they were like contractions. And they kind of felt like just period cramps, and I started feeling them from my front to my back. But I didn't know if I was just having one of those things, and I was like, okay, if this is the real deal, then I have to use like the 411 thing. Okay, so it was around 2 a.m. I was having like mild little contractions, but I wasn't really sure. I wasn't freaking out. I was just like, my stomach kind of hurts, whatever. He was still moving, so I was like, okay, everything's still booling. So at 3 a.m. my contractions started to get a little bit worse, but nothing like unmanageable. And yada yada yada. I was just chilling in bed on my phone. An hour goes by, I'm still having those mild contractions, and I started thinking about like that 411 thing. And that's basically where it's like you have a contraction, they're like 1 minute apart and they last for a minute. I think it's like that. No, it's if it's 4 minutes apart and they're 1 minute long and it's for 1 hour, then that's when you're supposed to go to the hospital. But me, I was just like, I'm gonna stick it out. They were kind of getting to the point where I was like pressing on my stomach, obviously not hard enough to hurt him, but just kind of like, it's kind of uncomfortable. You know, I could sit in a nice hot bath just to sit in it, whatever. So I kind of just sat in bed. I was just laying there. I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna take it like a woman, blah blah blah. And I had this app that like timed my contractions, so it was doing basically the 411 thing, and I was kind of like, ooh, I could go to the hospital, but I really don't want to because if I go, they might send me back and all this stuff. And it hit 5 o'clock. The contractions kind of went down, and I was like, okay, I might just go hop in the bath. So I turned on the bath water, and I just sat in there for a second, shaved my legs. So I was like, this is the day, I'm gonna be prepared. And when I hopped out, the contractions kind of were like gone, and I didn't really feel nothing. So I was like, okay, that was just a false alarm, whatever. And I hopped back in her bed, and like, I want to say like 10 minutes later, they came back, and it was worse. So I was just like, ooh, this kind of hurts. Ooh, I don't want to go to the doctor. So I told myself, well, if it hits 6 o'clock and I'm still contracting, then I'll just go in. 6 o'clock. So it was 6 o'clock, and I was still having the contractions, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna just give myself a whole nother hour. So around 6 o'clock, I was just laying there, and then all of a sudden, you know, he was moving a whole lot for some reason. And then I started getting Braxton Hicks contractions. My stomach just started tightening, and I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of weird, but whatever. And then all of a sudden, I felt like a big kick down there, and it just felt like a pop. Like, I don't know how to describe it, like a balloon pop. So when I felt that big pop, I was like, ooh, that could be my water. I don't know. And I was kind of scared to get up. So I decided just to stand up and just see if anything came out. And of course, as soon as I sit up, like well, not as soon as I sit up, but as soon as I stand up, gush, just water was just coming. And I was like, okay, I know for a fact this is not me pissing on myself. I know for a fact. So like I run to the bathroom because I'm like, I'm not gonna put water on this female's floor. Like I'm not. So like I sit on the toilet and more just starts coming out. And I was like, okay, this is definitely my water. My water definitely broke. And it was funny because me and my friend, she was like, Amy, if you're gonna spend the night, I got one rule for you. Your water cannot break in my house. And I was like, why not? She's like, because I don't know how to react to that. So I was like, girl, it's not gonna break. It's not gonna break. Of course it does. Now that I'm freaking out, now that my water's broke, I'm like, oh shit, it's getting real. So I call my dad first. I don't know why. And he answers and he starts freaking out. He's like, call your mom. We gotta go. Da-da-da-da. And I was only 2 minutes away from my house, so it's not like I was far or anything. So I call my mom. She, you know, she's not freaking out. She's more calm than my dad, obviously. And so she comes and picks me up, and I wake up my friend, and I just start getting everything situated. Contractions didn't start getting painful until I was in the car on the way to the hospital. They were starting to get to the point where I was like, this kind of really hurts. We get to the hospital. We go to the emergency room. My mom doesn't park. She has to go find a parking spot. So she walks me in. The emergency room people wheel me to the labor and delivery. And I have to sign in, do all this blah, blah, blah. So I finally get to the front, and I have to wait for a nurse to take me to the triage, where they basically double check if my water broke and to make sure this is the real deal. We finally get to the triage, I want to say like around 6:30 a.m. And we were waiting for one of the doctors. The nurses are just talking to me, monitoring the baby and all that good stuff. And when the doctor finally comes in, she checks me and she goes, oh, yep, definitely the water or something ruptured, whatever she said. And it was go time. And I was only 2 centimeters at that time. So they wheel me to my room where I was going to deliver, obviously. And from that point, it was kind of just a waiting game. I didn't know how long my labor was gonna take. I didn't know what to expect. But they come in, I start doing some paperwork. The contractions weren't that bad, but they were still painful. And I was really trying to go natural, like really trying to go natural. I don't really recall time frames. I just kind of know like what was going on. I know nurses were starting to come in. They were checking my vitals, sticking IVs in. I know they gave me Pitocin because they wanted the labor to progress. And at that point, I was just chilling. I couldn't eat anything, so that made me really sad. All I could do was eat ice chips. That was not satisfying at all. And everybody else was eating around me. I want to say around 9 o'clock, they come and check me. And I believe I was only like 3 to 4 centimeters at that point. And they were starting to get really painful. My mom, you know, she kept trying to rub my back, try to get me off of the bed. I didn't want to get up from the bed because I was in so much pain. I was grabbing on the rails. I don't think I was screaming at that point yet. I wasn't screaming yet. But I know they were pretty crucial. I know the nurse kept double checking. They were like, you sure you don't want to do epidural? I was like, no, I don't want to do epidural. And they're like, okay, just know it's okay if you change your mind. So I just kept sitting there. I was taking the pain, you know, trying to talk to everyone. Everybody's kind of excited. They're like telling everybody else, hey, Amy's having her baby. I just know my mom and my brother left to go get their shots. And it was just me and my dad in the room. And then my contractions, like, I don't know what happened, but they went up. I was crying. I was like yelling. I was telling my dad, I need the epidural like right now. So I made it to like 5.5 centimeters when I finally decided to do the epidural. And the epidural process was not bad at all. Like I heard a lot of people said it took a long time, like it took 20 minutes, and that they feel like I don't know, everyone feels something different, but mine honestly took like 5 minutes max. The man came in one of the nurses came to, like, you know, keep my mind off of it. Nobody could be in the room with me, so that kind of sucked. Once they did the epidural, like I said, I was just laying there and I started to feel the pain like disappear, and that's better than an orgasm. Like, y'all, going from that excruciating pain, like your bones are breaking, to like just chilling was the best feeling. So I was like, shit, I'm about to take a good ass nap. So that's exactly what I did. I took a good ass nap. So I don't know what time it was. I think it was probably like around like 1 o'clock. I decided to finally go to sleep, and I knocked out. Like, I'm gonna put a picture right here of where I knocked out. And I was some good sleep. I ain't feel nothing. I was out cold. Best sleep of my life. Kind of miss sleeping like that, because right now I never get to sleep like that. Never. But I woke up like 3 hours later. It didn't even feel like I was asleep for 3 hours, but I woke up around 3 hours. So it was like 4 something when I finally woke up, like 4:30, I want to say. And I was just sitting there talking to my family, you know, yada yada yada. We're all making like our bets of who's, you know, what time the baby might come. And we were all guessing weight and centimeters, weight and length. And we were just chilling, and I started to feel some pressure, but I wasn't sure because, like I said, I couldn't feel anything. Like my legs, I couldn't feel shit. I was just out. So the nurse came in and she was like, okay, it's time to check you. So I was like, cool. So I was 5.5 centimeters before, you know, my nap. So when she checked me, I was already at 9 centimeters. I was shook to the core.
I was like, how am I already 9 centimeters? It's only been 3 hours.
So she called my doctor. Doctor is doing another delivery, not obviously, I don't know. So my doctor is doing another delivery, so I had to wait on him. And the nurse was like, okay, we're just gonna start getting ready for you to push. So I was like, oh, it's time. It's like go time. Like you weren't playing. So, you know, they put my legs up and they say, okay, you're gonna push on a contraction, and we're gonna see, you know, we're gonna do as much as we can until your doctor gets here. So I was like, okay. So I started pushing. I can't feel how I'm pushing. I just know I'm trying to push. I just couldn't feel nothing, but they were telling me I was doing a great job, so I was like, cool. So I was pushing, blah, blah. They told me to stop, go, stop, breathe, bitch, don't die. And eventually they were like, okay, stop. We see the head is go time. We're gonna get everything set up. So they have everything already set up. We're waiting for the doctor. And I'm just sitting here with like a head just showing in my vagina. I obviously couldn't see nothing. My mom was just right there all looking in it happy and shit. And they just kept saying, oh my God, he has a full set of hair. And I'm just like, oh, that's great. So finally the doctor shows up. You know, we're all talking, chatting away with the big head in my vagina. And he turns on his little bright lights, and they're like, all right, let's get to it. So he tells me, okay, this is how it's gonna go. You're gonna push, do this, blah, blah, you know, blah, blah. So I start to push. And honestly, like, it didn't even take a lot for the pushing. I pushed a set of 4 times in 10-second increments, if that makes sense. And he was out, like literally just slipped on out. And I did get a tear, but it wasn't from like the vagina hole to your asshole. It was like my lip basically tore, which I didn't even know that was a thing, but it is. So now you know. And I'm so glad I didn't feel none of that, because I'm pretty sure I would have just died and went to heaven that day. But yeah, and as soon as he was out, I wanted to do skin to skin. So as soon as they put me on him, as soon as they put me on him, it was just, I don't know how to explain it. It just still didn't seem real. Like, even though he was right in my face, it was just kind of like, oh my God, like, you're really here. And mind y'all, like, I was early, like, not super early, but I was 37 weeks pregnant when he was born. So, you know, he was 2 weeks early. So I was just like, wow, like, he's really here. And I might insert a video or a picture of the moment my mom took her or something. Hey, why are you crying? I was just holding him and talking to him, you know, trying to see who he looks like. And I was just like, wow, like, I really have a little human, like, a little human's in my lap. Like, it's there. I didn't cry though. Like, I felt like I wanted to, but for some reason my body just couldn't. I think I was just super tired. Like, I know I was really tired after that. Like, I hadn't eaten and I was doped up and all this stuff, but I was so glad that it was finally over. But also I had this like overwhelming of sadness that I was like, dang, like that's a wrap of my pregnancy. Like that's a wrap. He's here. Let's get it. And yeah, guys, the labor and delivery part was just smooth. Like I didn't expect it to be that smooth. Like what, my whole labor was what, 13 hours long, and the delivery was 7 minutes. It was pretty smooth. I really thought it was going to be a long process, because a lot of people say when it's your first baby you're in for a very long time, but mine was just in and out, and I'm grateful for that. I'm so happy everything went as smooth as it could have. And yeah, guys, I'm super stoked that he is finally here. He's about to be 2 months, I want to say next week, and he is the love of my life. He looks like his dad, acts like the dad. It don't even look like he's my kid. You can look at him and not even realize that's my kid. I don't know if he's up right now. Let me go see. Okay, guys, this is Mr. Zenith Alvin, and he's a really fat boy. He was 7 pounds, 8 ounces when he was born, and so like I said, he was 7 pounds, 8 ounces, and 20 inches long. And the funny thing was, I guessed the exact numbers of everything, which is crazy. But yeah, guys, this is my little fat man. Say hi. Say hi. Right? He doesn't look like he could be my kid, right? Are you my kid? Are you sure they didn't swap you? But yeah, guys, I think that's a wrap for this video. I just wanted to finally get it out and talk about it. And I plan on doing a postpartum, because I know I liked watching those, and I really want to keep it 100 with y'all about what happened after birth, because that shit was weird. Okay, guys, well, thank you so much for watching our video, and we hope to see y'all in our next one. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Right, baby? Say bye. Bye.